Hotkey Books presents STAGS 3, FOXES, written by M.A. Bennett and read by Lucy Dixon. Keep listening after the end of the audiobook for an exclusive sample from STAGS 4, Tigers, the fourth audiobook in the series. To the fair hazel fox, my midnight friend. The fox may live when all the hounds be dead. Esme Stewart, 3rd Duke of Lennox, 7th Duke of Aubigny. Introduction to Volpone by Ben Jonson. Part 1. The Fox. Chapter 1. Last night I dreamed I went to Longcross again. It seemed like I was watching myself as if I were in a film, if that makes sense. There was a whole bunch of people on horses milling around in front of the grand entrance to Longcross Hall, all wearing their hunting stuff. And I was one of them. I was on this elegant grey horse, wearing boots and breeches and a midnight black coat with a nipped-in waist and a black riding hat. I was holding the reins with one gloved hand, and in the other I held a little silver cup. I was drinking from it and smiling. Shafeen and Nel were there with me too, both looking amazing in their riding gear. Shafeen, like all the gentlemen, wearing hunting red. Pink. The twins were there, immaculate on twin grey, horses. But when I looked for someone else, someone who also had blonde cropped hair, he was nowhere to be seen. I couldn't see Ty either, and she definitely would have stood out in this company as the only black person in the hunt. We were all chatting and laughing, but there was an air of anticipation. The horses were shifting their hooves, the riders turning their heads with impatience. There was a bunch of hounds milling around, sniffing and yapping and weaving in between the horses' legs. We were all waiting for something, and it came. There was the sound of a horn, clear and sweet as death, and we began to move off. We all trotted down the drive and then began to gallop across the open fields. Then I saw everything from above, like that helicopter shot of the hunt at the beginning of the remains of the day. The hounds, who had picked up a scent, streaked ahead in a white and tan arrowhead. Beyond them a flash of fire, a fox running easily and well ahead of us. He ducked into a covert and under the dark shadow of the trees of Longwood. Once we followed it into the woods, everything changed. This will sound weird, but the fox was now human, a figure dressed head to foot in red, the hood drawn over its head. It was running through the blackthorn of the undergrowth, the branches whipping at its face. I felt exhilaration and dread for the running figure. Jaws snapped behind it, and however fast it ran, they nipped at its heels. It was no good. As we burst out into a clearing, the low sun in my eyes, the jaws closed on the red runner at last. I crowded in with the rest of the hunt as the hounds tore at the red clothing. I watched in horror as the dogs ripped and wrenched, my whole body drenched in dread as riders jumped down to whip the hounds away and turn the motionless figure over. I was suddenly certain that when they did, I would see my own face. But when the riders stood back, almost respectfully, the body was gone and there was just a fox, furry and forlorn, stretched dead on the winter grass. Then my point of view spiralled up and up over the hills and far away, until the fox, that little smear of red, could no longer be seen. You see, even my dreams have camera moves. I didn't do that sit bolt upright gasping for breath thing that they do in the movies, though. I woke quite gradually, blinking myself into consciousness, and for a minute, I didn't know where I was. It took me a good few seconds to click that I was in room K9 of Alnwick Cottage Hospital, and I was totally alone, just me and my throbbing thumb. Slowly, as things do after a vivid dream, everything came back to me, resolving like a dark room photograph. Only a few days ago I'd been on stage at the Warlencourts Playhouse, the school theatre at STAGS. I'd been glorying in the triumph of my production of Ben Jonson's lost play, The Isle of Dogs. I'd been playing the character of Poetaster, the narrator of the play, and a thinly veiled version of Ben Jonson himself.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?